If you go by BMI, I used to be almost obese, but now I'm on my way to becoming a beast. Here's a quick rundown of my story. Basically, starting in fourth grade, I started eating a lot of sugary and greasy foods, and I did that for years on end. Unsurprisingly, I gained a lot of weight. Eventually, a couple months into quarantine, I decided enough is enough. I started tracking my calories every day and my weight every week. Eventually, in a year or so time, after losing about a pound every week, I went from 180 to 140. Unfortunately, I didn't exercise at all during this whole year, so any muscle I would have put on from having to carry that heavier body around was lost. But I did drastically improve my health, self confidence, and self efficacy. Now that you get the gist of my story, I want to talk about a quote from the famous psychotherapist Carl Jung. It goes like this: "No tree, it is said, can grow to heaven unless its roots are in hell." Here's the way I interpret this: those who reach for the top came from the bottom. Those who came from a subjectively dark place are the ones who will reach for the light. You realize that the pain of existing in hell is greater than the pain of trying to reach for the light. Thus, you're very motivated to change because you just can't stand the situation you're in. I remember in 7th grade at my annual checkup with my pediatrician, I cried because I found out I was in the 99th percentile of weight for my height. I was so ashamed of my physical state. And look, I'm all for body positivity. As long as you're healthy, I really don't care about how you look because how you look does not affect my life. But I can say for certain, for me at least, acceptance was off the table. Besides the health reasons, I knew I could change, and I was just lying to myself. I can confidently say that when I was fat, I was in hell. But after letting those feelings of sadness, anger, and hatred simmer for a couple more months, I just snapped. I knew that the pain of existing the way I do now will be greater than the pain of changing. By losing weight, I was effectively reaching for the heavens. I was trying to get out of hell. This taught me how valuable negative emotions can be for motivation. If I didn't resent myself as much as I did, I seriously doubt I would have been able to stay consistent enough to actually lose weight. Deciding to get out of hell taught me the power of momentum. Seeing the scale fall just a little week by week and eventually noticing major physical changes in my body month to month catalyzed a whole process of improvement elsewhere in my life. I was seeing and feeling how good improving yourself felt, and this pretty much created a positive feedback loop for myself. I improve myself, then I feel good, and then I want to improve myself again so I can feel good again. And I continue to appreciate these little changes, still to this day. An extra rep in the gym, a new fact learned, a new experience gained. I know that progress isn't instant, but seeing these small wins eventually add up into big wins is extremely motivating. I thought, hey, I've been doing pretty good at this weight loss thing. What else could I do? Could I work on my self-awareness? Could I work on my motivation? Seeing tangible and physical proof of myself changing taught me that I am indeed capable of changing myself for the better. Beyond that, though, weight loss taught me invaluable knowledge. The lessons I learned from weight loss will be with me for the rest of my life. Sure, I definitely learned a lot about how to diet, which I will probably make a separate video on entirely, but I think probably the most important thing I learned from this whole process is the value of delayed gratification. Up until this point, I had very few reasons to ever delay gratification. I'm sure if any of you have lost weight yourself, you could probably relate to this. I was hungry, literally all the time, or at least, it felt like that. But I didn't eat because I knew that if I ate now, I'd just be hungry again later. And if I ate more now, I wouldn't be able to lose weight. And then I wouldn't be able to achieve my goal. If I can just not eat now, then I can eat more later in the day. I can feel better later. I can continue losing weight at the end of the week. I can continue to get closer to the physique I want. But if I do eat now, I know I'll only regret it later. I just had to stop trying to go around the pain, and I just had to go right through it. These new experiences of delayed gratification were giving me a glimpse into what would make my life actually meaningful. Life was no longer about doing what felt good in the moment because I was starting to realize that if I always did that, I would only end up hurting myself later. I had to realize that the pain I'm experiencing right now will not last forever. Overall, losing weight has probably been the single biggest accomplishment of my life thus far. It is the thing I am most proud of. That year was a huge period of growth for me. Having to escape from hell only made me want to reach towards heaven more. Now that I'm at ground level, I know what I'm aiming at, and I just feel so much better physically and mentally. And that's partly why I'm here making this video today. I've experienced firsthand the incredible transformative effects of weight loss, and I want those in a similar situation to feel the same things I did. It's kind of like when you read a really good book, or you watch a really good TV show, or see a really good movie. All you want to do is just tell everyone you know about it because you want them to experience how amazing it is. If you're curious, I don't have a lot of loose skin, but I do have stretch marks on my arms. But I'm not ashamed of them, actually, I'm proud of them. They're physical proof of my accomplishments. Almost no one knows I even have them. In fact, most people either never knew I was fat or they think I simply grew into my body, but I will never forget them. Have a good day, you guys.